Through the history of Battlefield 2042 since its launch date, I have been a player through and through. Now, ever since its launch, there has been a lot of people who have been upset by the vast amount of bugs that have been prevalent in the entirety of the game. And I'm definitely not blind. I absolutely see the millions of bugs that occur in this game on a day-to-day basis. As a daily player, I come across these bugs countless times every single time. But my love for Battlefield actually hasn't dwindled at all. I still play Battlefield 2042 on a very regular basis. Now, I still have issues and gripes with this, such as spawning. You spawn too far away from capture points even if your opponent is not actively capturing the point. You can spawn in the middle of bullets flying directly at your teammate and get shot instead. Vehicles get stuck. You can get shot through solid obstacles and from across the map. Usually they're cheaters, but sometimes it does happen even outside of a cheating realm. Footsteps for allies and enemies are the exact same. It would be helpful just like any other FPS game if they were a little bit different sounding. And there's even like stupid things like difficult achievements. Like I've been working on the Battle Angel battle tag for I don't know how many months now. With the whole 3,000 health replenished in one game seems to be very, very difficult, and that's what I'm stuck on. But the thing is that even though there's these issues that I even come across, there's 1,000 more that other people come across. And everyone's experience with this is different. My perspective on these issues is that it would be one thing if it was only me that had these issues. And if the whole game felt unbalanced because it was only me that experienced not being able to kill people when they can kill me, or if my bullets struck something and theirs didn't, or something to that effect. But because everyone has the exact same issues, it feels a lot more fair. The playing ground feels very even. And I'm not going to say I am the best player in the world. That is by far a true statement. But I'm a decent one. I'm a decent player. I'm at least on average. I can very much say that I am an average player. And because of that, I feel like I take on a very average perspective. And as an average perspective, the game is fair. Like, I don't want a refund. Like, so many people have petitioned on change.org to have a refund. I don't think it's needed or fair to get a refund for this game. I have so much enjoyed the game, regardless of the sketchy kills or the sketchy deaths or whatever the case may be. I still have a blast with this. I have a few friends that through their rage quits, they still come back and play it as well, and we have a blast. I do want these bugs fixed. I want them fixed really badly so that it runs as intended. But until then, I'm not going to stop playing. I still think it's a fantastically fun game. Just like 3 and 4 and all the other ones that I've played in the past, they're fun. They all have bugs and they all have issues, but I'm still willing to work with it because I go into the game knowing that there's going to be problems. Getting any game from DICE and expecting it to be a fully fleshed out game by now is just absolutely ridiculous. No AAA game title developer company releases a fully fleshed game upon the release date. That's just not how this modern day works. If you like the game that much to get it on release date, you're going to have issues. Absolutely, no matter what, you're going to have issues. Even if they think it's a fully fleshed game, there's still going to be issues because it's the first time that's going to be released. Especially with these AAA titles, it's just not realistic. Just don't hold your breath that it's going to work flawlessly. I think one of my biggest issues that I have right now that's a little bit difficult to get through is either matchmaking and the player count. So with matchmaking, it's extraordinarily hard to find people who are in your same level and ranking because smurfing is a huge thing, especially because there's so many S-class levels out there that have maximized what they can really do. They go back down and create a new account and will start from the beginning, and so if the game thinks that they're a beginner and a noob, they're going to stick them with other people who aren't very good just to get clapped on later. So that's an issue, but there's nothing really the game itself can do to really stop that. Unless they can create multiple characters with the same account in which they can recognize, hey, this is the same player, just under a different skin, and be able to let them do it that way so they can matchmake appropriately. And so matchmaking can be difficult for that. Plus the normal matchmaking difficulties where it'll put you in a lobby with 15 S-level classes, a couple of hundreds in there, and then you have some 10s, 20s, and 30s in there. And it's like it's a good mix, I think, but it's unfortunately you know who's gonna dominate. You know who's gonna be the top of that leaderboard. And it's just the lower levels that get constantly bombarded every single time, and they have nowhere to go and no room to keep going up, so it makes them quit. They quit because of it, because they're so frustrated that they keep getting matchmade with other people that are so higher level that why would they continue? And the other issue I have is the amount of players. So because Battlefield has gone through so many difficult times and so many bugs and so much negative backlash, especially on social media, for being a terrible game, there's no one that plays this anymore. It takes me at least 15 to 20 minutes and at least 3 lobby resets to be able to find a single game or single lobby that has enough players, even with bots, to play. So like I'll be sitting there with my squad in the pending room, just waiting and waiting and waiting for the game to load, and when the game automatically kicks you back to the lobby because there's not enough players and tells you, hey, you need to try again, then there's an issue. I can cook and eat dinner by the time I can get loaded into a single game. Even when I get loaded in, it's already 3 or 4 minutes into the game having been started. It's all the capture points are already done, and people are already dropping like flies. We may even have quite a few tickets lost by then. And then on top of that, once I do get loaded in, when I do get loaded in, everybody's invisible because it takes so long to load the game. Because it's such a big game, it takes at least an additional 3 to 4 minutes for people to even load in for me. Like I can't even see my gun in my hand for the first 30 seconds. And then I can't see allies. I just see the little green dots above their heads, but I can't see their actual physical bodies for another 2 minutes. And then I can't see enemies or even vehicles sometimes until the first 4 minutes. And I know I'm not the only one that had this issue. I was talking to somebody in a chat during one of my gameplays, and they were wondering like, hey, why is everyone invisible? What's going on? They were freaking out. So I told them, hey, if you just joined in, give it about 3 or 4 minutes and then they'll start appearing. And then they confirmed with me that's exactly what happened. They just started coming in. So I don't know if it's because of my hard drive and specifically. I know that has a huge impact on it and its loading time, but I don't know if it's entirely like 100% my hard drive's fault, especially because I've been hearing about it from other people, but other people could be having the exact same hard drive kind of capabilities and limitations that I have. So overall, even though this game has a lot of work ahead of it, it's got a lot of bugs to fix, it's got a lot of player base to regain the trust of. I think that by at least putting out this last update, DICE has at least shown that they're trying to go this direction. And if they really don't put out another update after this one, I'm kind of gonna go off the basis that they really don't care at this point and they're probably gonna just move on. Either way, because I enjoy the game for what it is, I'm gonna still be one of those players that continues to play it regardless if there's any fixes or not, because to me, everyone has the same issues and everyone's on the same equal playing ground, so I don't feel like I'm at a particular disadvantage over others.